as I mentioned, I don't do this very often. J Money is money, if ever. But I think this is a very good spot to do it. Give me the little same game parlay. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 25 plus points. Bucks on the money line. So this is a perfect. I see this as a perfect way to get the money line on the Milwaukee Bucks down from that 180, 185 number to minus 125, minus 130, depending on where you end up putting this ticket in. Because if Giannis and the Bucks get the W, he's scoring 25 points. I'm not worried about that. That's the cap on the reason I like the same game parlay. I just think it gets me a better price. And if they get the W, Giannis is going to at least score 25. Let's talk about the overall matchup between the Bucks and the Pacers. Now, I think a big thing here is this is a revenge J spot. These squads played last 11-9. Bucks lost 126-124. Giannis had 54 and 12 rebounds, and they had no Dame Lillard. Now, I think this is even more important than the revenge spot that the Milwaukee Bucks have seen these dudes. They've seen the up and down, defense optional, run and gun, Tyrese Halliburton style. That is major for me in this cap and how I look at this game. They're not going to be surprised by how they're playing ball. They've already witnessed it. They almost got the W without their second best player. I know Giannis scored 54, but Giannis is going to be hard pressed to be stopped in this game. I really like this spot. I think, as much as the Indiana Pacers want this title and how it's a really feel-good story, I think that is starting to get a little fever pitch here that they can keep this game tight with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks have been the second best offense in the NBA behind the Pacers. So you're telling me now in the last 11, 12 games, Milwaukee is playing just as good on offense as the Pacers, and then you put these guys on a big stage with the two best players on the floor in Giannis and Dame, they're going to win this game and get to the finals, and then we'll see if they play the Pelicans or the Lakers. But that's how I feel about this matchup. I was really close to just flat out laying the 4.5. I'm not mad at that at all. But I think this is a better way to give you a little protection on the spread because, 4.5, we start to push that 2-possession range, right? So at the end of the game, it might not be a spot where they're falling. Maybe it is because it's a semifinal, but I just wanted to remove that element. Giannis is going to score 25 on these guys. They give up 25 to everybody. And if he scores 25, I get a lot better price on the money line with the Bucks. I'm going to tie those two together. How you feel about the -4 versus the same game, 4.5 versus the same game parlay, bringing that juice down to -130?
This is a revenge spot for the Bucks. I don't usually go against revenge spots, but I'll tell you the truth. I could only look towards Pacers here. I've been watching the Bucks closely, and they're kind of like the same team, right? Defense optional. But I really think that the Pacers actually have defenders. I mean, you see guys like Buddy Hills actually getting down in defensive stance and playing defense. They got Bruce Brown, he's always been a defensive stopper over there. Obi Toppin, I like how they put Benedict Mathurin. They took him out of the starting lineup and put him on the bench. Now you're bringing more punch off of the bench here. I'll be honest, the Pacers are the much deeper team. They're the much more potent offense. I know that the Bucks have Dame and they have Giannis, and Chris Middleton could possibly go off in this game. But I'm watching these guys, and they got 3 guys over there that are not going to be able to stop Halliburton. And they're not going to be able to stop Buddy Hield or whoever the hell else is at the guard position as well. Damian Lillard, Malik Beasley, and Chris Middleton are damn near cones on defense, man. Are damn near cones. I'm talking about watch Middleton, and he's getting blown by almost every single play. Now, last game, Beasley actually tried to play some defense, but I never trust Dame playing defense. He'd rather let you score a 2 and then go get the ball back and try to make a 3. But Middleton, I'm really starting to get worried about him. So they're 1 through 3. Their 3 starters there are not defensive guys whatsoever. That's something I worry about going up against a potent offense versus the Pacers. But the Pacers do need to knock down shots. That's one thing you can say about Giannis and company with the Bucks. If Giannis can get to the basket and have success and draw fouls, that's where they could really have a major advantage there. So I like the fact that you're throwing in him to get the 25 points. But to be honest with you, I mean, these are 2 tough games. could see them going either way, but I do lean towards the Pacers plus the 4.5 here. It could be a tight game, and I just feel like they have the much deeper bench as well. Only player I'm trusting off the Bucks bench is Bobby Portis. Other than that, throw those guys down to the G League. Now I don't want to disrespect them; they're not horrible, but the Pacers
campaign
have
has been solid.
Stop
Campaign
it.
has been solid,
Stop it,
and
Sean.
I noticed Jay. When you started talking defense, you didn't mention Brook Lopez. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Lopez, but he's not.
You didn't bring
I'll
Brook
tell
up
you.
at the
Now,
rim.
Lopez had a game where he had 8 blocks this season, but I'm watching Lopez and he doesn't look the same to me from last year. Now the Bucks have been balling, but I'm telling you right now, it's Dame and it's Giannis the reason why they've been balling so hard. It's not Lopez. He's not knocking down the threes like he usually is. He's a step slower. Remember, these guys are getting older and older every
It's an
single
old
year.
roster.
So,
That's a big
yeah.
knock on the entire team is that this roster is old and ragged.
And guess what? How is Brook Lopez going to fare in this game? The Pacers are running up and down the floor the whole game. How are Middleton, who's obviously still affected by coming off that injury and surgery, how are him and Lopez going to do in this game? Who are they going to go to? I mean, they're probably going to have to go to Bobby Portis at the 5 for the majority of this game, in my opinion, because Brook Lopez can get ran off the floor in this particular game.
I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see it. I think the Bucks get it done, and I know Giannis is going to show up in a major way on this big stage. Now, listen, Jay, if Halliburton is throwing shit off the backboard and picking up 4-point plays and all types of shit, then pack it up. It's over. Triple doubles, everything else. But if this is close, and I expect it to be close, and I expect it to be high scoring, total opened at 248.5, went up to 253.5 almost instantaneously. So we expect points. I expect this game, if it's close, this is just going to be one of those spots where I'm banking on Dame Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo to pull out a possession or two and get us 1 or 2 more stops than the Indiana Pacers. So stay tuned. We will see